Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Unapologetically Lee. And I want to talk about today's topic. Just talk about how the whole idea of spiritual egotism or the spiritual ego, and also the false light. I was meditating the other day about these two terms and how I experience both of them. And if you haven't experienced it, man, props to you, because I feel like a lot of us on the spiritual journey, if we haven't dissolved the ego, then we are very subject, I guess you could say, or just we have the capacity to be in the false light and to have spiritual ego, if that makes sense. And I've talked about ego and wanting to be like better than the other person as part of healing the divine feminine within yourself. And it's interesting, like during the spiritual journey, not a lot of people talk about this, and I'm being very vulnerable here. But when you're on the spiritual journey and path, there comes a point, well, at least for me, because I haven't fully dissolved my ego, I'm like doing my spiritual work and dissolving the ego simultaneously. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It just, you do what feels right to you, right? And then for me, I feel like I'm just gonna take on all of these what is it, traumas, and work on it all together, and just like, let's conquer all of these. And I like to dive in and just like do it all, if that makes sense, which isn't very feminine of me, right? But yeah, anyways, so when you're on the spiritual path, the spiritual ego does come up. Like, you start to think that, oh, because I'm more aware and I'm expanding, I'm better than the people or my friends and family who are still in the 3D matrix, who are working their 9 to 5 job. And what I've come to realize in like the past few months here is that so what if they're doing their 9 to 5 job? I think the ultimate goal, I think, of being down here in school earth is, are you able to transcend the density and to find your joy again, to be playful when everything seems so heavy and deep and dark? Are you able to find your true essence again and to not allow the darkness to overtake you? Like the last video I think I posted with Avatar Aang being engrossed and covered in the darkness and the density. And I truly believe that's why we're here on planet Earth, is to shed light and to find our light again, to find our true essence, to find who we truly are. We come down here forgetting who we are, and it's just a journey of rediscovering our true power, our true essence, like how much of a co-creator of life that we are in this planet, right? And then, sorry, I'm going on a more beautiful light to ego, right? The spiritual ego. But the spiritual ego is a big thing, right? Anyways, but yeah, and who's to say the people who are working 9 to 5 jobs are not on a spiritual path? I feel like, they may not look like it, but if they're happy and content with it, then hey, that's props to them, and as long as they're happy, I feel like the whole spiritual ego, like trying to like up the other person, or trying to gain more followers, or like people who listen or whatever. I feel like it's just external validation, and if you still have it, it's okay. I feel like I still have it because I am still looking for the external validation, right? But at the same time, I feel like once I drop it, or we drop it, and we have fun doing what we're doing and enjoy and have our heart like go into the projects that we're creating, then our external reality will reflect it, and it will call in the people that were meant to see the video, the painting, the artwork, or your writing, your book, whatever creative project that you are creating, right? Or composing. But yeah, and we need to come into this idea and drop the spiritual ego, the idea that we know better than other people. Humility is the key, right, to dissolving spiritual ego and the false light, as I've learned, and just knowing that the spiritual journey is not a linear thing. It is up and down, sideways, upside down, simultaneously, and I see it in all dimensions, and it's kind of crazy. And I'm laughing about it now because I'm able to like look back at myself and say, whoa, that was part of my journey to experience that and to see it. And I think I got so wrapped up into it. I wasn't a person, well, being the false light, I wasn't like trying to almost like, what is it, take over another person, but I was acting as a martyr, and that is part of the false light, right? Giving up your needs for the needs of others. And I've noticed that I'm still doing it unconsciously today, like when I'm talking to friends or whatever. But it's the false light is like, you think that you know better, but you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you have to understand that the only thing that you know better about is yourself, right? And this is why, even though I'm a tarot card reader and I call myself a psychic medium, I seriously don't understand labels, and I don't know the difference between a psychic and a psychic medium. And I'm like, I just read energy, I just read energy in that moment in time. But I was talking to a friend and spoke about how there could be like 10 paths that you can choose, and I could only see maybe 3 out of the 10, as a medium or a psychic or whatever it is, energy reader. And it's up to you to decide which path that you choose, and decide. It's like giving the power back to the client if you want to transform that, or walk away from the false light, or transcend spiritual ego, right? Is humility, and the understanding that no one's really in charge except for spirit and you in your life. No one can really tell you what to do. And then when you give up that right, then you're susceptible to these lower density energies, or entities, or parasites, right? And thought forms. But anyways, I just want it to be known that not every single guru or healer or tarot reader is immune to the false light or what is it, spiritual ego. I mean, the only thing is, you just have to ask yourself, like, does the message resonate or not? And is this person trying to create a codependency with me or not? And your heart will know, your body will tell you if something doesn't feel right, if there is something wrong. Am I giving my power away? I think is a really, really key thing. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to come on here and just talk a little bit about the false light and spiritual ego and how real it is. And there are going to be a lot of people are waking up now, and they're going to be looking for guides and tarot readers and psychic mediums, and there's no certifications out there. And I know there are some veteran people who go through intensive training, and they get really, really offended when people term themselves that way. Like, but at the same time, I'm just like, well, if they done the inner work, even though you don't have somebody physically working with you, you could still have somebody on the other side working with you and still term that. And but at the same time, yes, we have to be careful, because then it can be spiritual, like, I guess, predatorship. I don't know what it is. Like, you can be preyed upon by those energies that are looking to siphon and to take and to overcome your energy, right? Take your energy without your consent. So yeah, I know that a lot of people will be looking for guides and people to help them on this new journey, and it's really exciting time. I'm actually seeing the coherency between the inner work that I'm doing and my external reality. I haven't seen it until recently, and even though it's a hard lesson, the one that I recently came out of and I'm still going through right now, it's a hard one, but you will actually see the not repercussions, but the results of your work that you've been doing. And the best way to find your light and do all of this, you really don't need a physical teacher. I mean, yes, it's great to have a physical teacher to tell you what to do, but at the same time, you sacrifice, you might be giving your power away, if that makes sense. I found myself looking for a teacher and seeing myself giving my energy and my power away to that person as I'm looking. But the best teacher that you have is you, and the best way to connect to you is meditation and stillness. No matter how it looks, it could be writing, it could be dancing, and I feel like only you know. And if you resonate with one of these spiritual teachers, then great, but I've had experience of a false teacher, and I've had experience personal me being the false light, because I wasn't doing it in a healthy way, and I'm relearning how to do it again, and just sharing my experience. It is something that I hope to do someday, to be a guide and a coach. Right now, I'm just helping friends right now. That's why I termed myself those labels. Labels are just kind of silly, but yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about my experience about spiritual egotism. I don't even know if that's a word, but and the false light, and yeah, the false light it looks true and authentic and everything, but it has that savior mentality to it, where I'm going to save you, I'm going to tell you what to do, you know. And instead of like allowing, instead of the teacher or the guide to walk with you, it's, they're like telling you what to do, right? And yeah, and that's when they take away your power, right? But anyways, so be safe out there when you're looking for people to guide you or to help you. Though the false light has good intentions, you know, but it's just not a healthy one. But anyways, have a beautiful day, everyone. Until next time, bye.